So hey there, my name's Bo. I'm originally from Tennessee and Alabama and Georgia, but I now live in Vermont, and I want to tell you my Colonel Bruce story, the day I met Colonel Bruce. So, 2004, second jam cruise, first year. They did 2 jam cruises the first year. So, I was a big fan of Colonel Bruce. Wound up going on the jam cruise to see Colonel Bruce and Michael Franti. But big fan of Colonel Bruce. Had seen him throughout the South for many, many years. So, on the cruise, I wound up one afternoon seeing Colonel Bruce sitting in a outdoor picnic or patio type style table near me on a bright sunny Saturday afternoon. Both of us, he's sober all the time, right? And I was sober that day, and that it was still daylight on the jam cruise, and I was waiting till later. So I saw Colonel Bruce sitting there. I asked a young lady beside me. This was still the time of cameras. I handed her a camera. I said, "Hey, go over there and walk over there with me, will you? And I'm going to have my picture taken with Colonel Bruce, if he'll allow, and take the picture, would you?" And she says, "Certainly." So we go over there. I say, "Hey, Colonel Bruce, my name's Bo. I'm a huge fan of yours from the South. You see all the time. I live up in Vermont. Don't get to see as much anymore." I said, "Could I have my picture with you?" And he says, "Why, certainly, boy." And he stands up, and we're going to have our picture taken. And I say, "You know what? Would you mind if we walked over to the edge of the ship so that we could have the ocean behind us and we could kind of look like we're on our honeymoon?" And he kind of chuckles. He says, "Certainly." So we walk over there. We have our picture taken. All this happens within 30 seconds. He takes the picture. I shake his hand. I say, "Hey, Colonel, what a pleasure." He says, "Boy, the pleasure was all mine. And you, by the way, are an Aries." I said, "What?" And he said, "You are an Aries. Your birthday is March 28th, possibly April 2nd, but I believe it to be March 28th. Well, my birthday is March 28th, and I don't believe in that sort of stuff." So I grabbed him. I grabbed him by the shirt, and I leaned in, because, all this happened out of the blue like a lightning strike. And I grabbed him by the shirt, and I leaned in, and I could see his face and nothing but his face. Eye boogers and skin tags and whiskers. And I go, "What are you talking about? What are you talking about?" And he says, "It's obvious, boy." And he turns around and he walks off into the crowd. And I'm standing there. I can barely see a thing or hear a thing. My ears are ringing. And I'm looking around to see who I know who could be telling Colonel Bruce what my birthday is. Like standing behind me going, "March 28th, March 28th. No one knows me. No one's telling Colonel Bruce what my birthday is. So I walk back to my room and I sit down and I said, "Well, I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know that I believe the things I used to believe, and I may have to believe the things that I used to not believe in." I ran into his drummer later that night, and I said, I'd met Colonel Bruce today, and he told me the day I was born, within 30 seconds of meeting him. He looks at me and goes, "Yep, that's what he does. He sees patterns." Well, I've not been the same since, y'all. Thank you, Colonel Bruce.